Okay, so we've gotten the barrel dried off. We've ran some cloths down the barrel progressively, getting all the gunk out of it. So with these, gotten different variations of color. So we're gonna run what is going to be our last two cloths down there. And I'm using the push rod for this because why not? So that's going to be our last one at cleaning. And then the next one that we run down is going to have some gun oil on it to lubricate the inside of the barrel. And as you can see, so the stuff that's on there is just the swirls from being on the brass. Instead of just using the pull through, I wanted to make sure I was getting everything I could out of this. So our next step, after everything else, is going to be to lubricate, to clean and lubricate the barrel. So we'll work on the outside of the barrel first. So So the next thing we're going to work on cleaning out is going to be the flash hole. To do that, got a variety of tools. Got a dental pick, so gonna reach in there, get any crud out. Careful not to mess up the threadings in there at all. Then gonna saturate a cotton swab. Work the thread. Really clean that out. Now, the videos and everything that I watched about bluing and dealing with rust and just everything I know, I mean, tells you rust is a pain in the rear to deal with. So the video from Anvil Gunsmithing, which I'll reference in my bibliography, he talks about if you get red rust where you don't want it, convert it into black oxide, because it's a lot easier to deal with. So I did get some red rust inside this flash hole. My plugs didn't hold up to the wears as much as I wish that they would have. So, which inevitably left me with some red rust inside the barrel as well. So with that red rust being present, I chose to follow the advice of the gunsmith in the video and convert it. So right now, inside of here, I've got a fine coat that I've used a brass brush to polish up of bluing. Inside the flash hole. And having that fine coat in the flash hole will hopefully, at least for the first time of firing, help with the corrosion resistance from the black powder. I'm gonna grab my flashlight so I could get a good peek down in there and make sure I've got it cleaned out. Looking good, still need to work on the threads on top, but gonna put a little bit of oil on there. Came out a lot better for that third pass. So now we're going to work up here on this flash, or on this hole. And the threads here just look like they got some crud in them. So we're going to attempt to take that crud out. And again, we're just using some obscured size brass brushes from an old cleaning kit to really get down in and clean this out down in here. So we can see it's still quite filthy. Hopefully that little bit of pressurized gun oil get some of that loose stuff out. Okay, so we've got the flash hole cleaned out. We've got the barrel lubricated. Our next step is going to be to really lubricate up one of these patches and run this down the barrel. Because we definitely want to preserve the interior of the barrel. So again, I really want to force that oil on the sides. So using a wet patch. Getting a nice coat of lubricant down in there. So we've got that. Get these brushes off. And again, you can really see not part of this project, but how that blacking of the bronze turned out to really make it look aged and weathered. Very happy with that. So now the next step that we're going to do is just to run some of this lubricating oil on the outside of the barrel and just let it rest with that on there while we complete the other processes involved in this build. It's already been cleaned with some gun cleaner and lubricant, but I'm gonna just put this on here. It's another non-detergent oil. I think it's actually boiled linseed oil that they're just marketing as gun oil, but nonetheless. So, and there we have our finished Shenandoah barrel. You can see, even though maybe you can't, there we go. So, even though I had to polish and repolish this barrel, I made sure to take care to ensure that every bit of the engravings there visible through the bluing. So it came out as good as I could have hoped. For my first time ever bluing, proud of myself, proud I got through it. I encountered a lot of adversity during this process, so just happy to be through. All right, we'll see you next week for the complete assembly of the rifle.